system?
We're going to change the system by not being responsive to corporate interests. She's going to be responsive to the people. The people don't want gas and oil pipelines. The people want alternative energy.
What's she going to do for that? Like, how is she going to get everybody off of oil? Completely off of oil?
No, I understand from the experts that there are some purposes for which oil and gas are the only real sources, but they're very small, very minimal. So that's a really false argument. I never said we had to give up all plastic, you know.
No, but everybody's wanting to get off of oil, but oil is a part of every single thing that we're doing here, right?
Yeah, but
So recycling would help break off the oil, the need for oil?
It would solve the problem regarding plastics, for sure.
What do you think Jill Stein would do for national security and stuff like that?
She'll stop making war on everybody and everybody. She'll try to cut all our support and proliferation of weapons all over the world. People can't make war if they don't have American bombs and tanks and jets, right? And so you look at most of the wars going on around in the Middle East, where are they getting all their weapons? They're getting it from the military-industrial complex in the United States.
If the United States stopped selling weapons to people and giving weapons to people, could they not also get their weapons from places like Russia and China?
Right now, we just approved, Obama just approved over $1 billion of support for arms for Saudi Arabia. Do we believe in the government of Saudi Arabia and the things that they do? No, they're not a democracy. We don't believe in what they do. Why would we give them $1 billion so they can go kill and maim other civilians in Yemen and Syria and the other places where they're...
What about the border? Does the border matter? Should we open the border? Should we close the border? Should we keep it how it is?
I don't think we should keep women and children in detention centers where, like prisons, for months on end. I think that children should be represented who are fleeing oppression and violence in their country. I think labor, we need a lot of good support for safe and humane jobs, and I'm not sure what policies that we need to do that. I can't give you a real precise answer about that.
Should we at least enforce the laws that we currently have, or do you think the laws that we currently have, which requires deportations and a process to become a citizen in the country, do you think those should be changed, or do you think we should keep them the way they are?
My understanding is that the laws that we have are not being fully enforced, and when they are fully enforced, they're enforced in really inhumane ways. I think we need to put human values above the values of the industrialists. I think that all the energy that people are putting into the border has to do with the fact that they need jobs. So let's give them jobs and not try to block and limit other people's and their needs.
Socialist students, a student movement from the 99%. What does that mean?
Well, I needed a sign, and this was the closest one I could find to it. What it means to me is that I'm a student of everything. I'm a student of democracy. I'm a student of socialism. I'm a student of all different ways of trying to find out how we can live lovingly with each other.
Do you think socialism is the answer?
I don't know. I don't know, but the way democracy, representative democracy is working in this country, where we give corporations personhood, that does not work.
Explain that for a minute. Just because, I mean, corporations can't vote, right?
Corporations, according to the Supreme Court, corporations are people, and they can contribute unlimited amount of money to campaigns. When you contribute money to campaigns, you're promoting that person to win. That means that they're voting. They're using their force and their power to get people elected.
For instance, is proposing a new corporate tax that will actually be the second highest in the country. So what do you think Washington should do in that aspect? Do you think we should raise our corporate tax here in Washington, or do you think we should lower it and bring more businesses into the
biggest tax issue in Washington is that we don't have an income tax.
A corporate income tax, or for everybody?
We have a regressive income tax. The poor people in this state pay more money for the government than the rich people, because the poor people, there's no income tax. They get the state taxes from sales. So who spends the greatest proportion of their income on buying things? Poor people. Rich people spend the greatest portion of their income doing what? At Wall Street, or doing things like that. It's the poor and the middle class in Washington that are paying a disproportionate amount of their money for taxes. We need an income tax, a graduated income tax in this state, so that the rich people pay their portion, their fair share.
So if Washington got an income tax, you would want the sales tax to be repealed? You would want to take the sales tax completely off the books and just have an income tax like Oregon does?
I don't know the details of the tax law.
Well, I can tell you that Washington gets more revenue per capita than Oregon does off of our tax system.
Does Oregon have an income tax?
Oregon is only an income tax, just like Washington is only a sales tax. So, and Washington as a state gets more revenue than Oregon does with their income tax.
Yeah, Washington has to have a higher sales tax to make up for the fact that we're not taxing the rich people's incomes.
Tax like businesses and stuff like that. Because Washington also doesn't have a state corporate tax. It's up to the counties to have a corporate tax in this state.
Corporations in this state benefit from the roads, they benefit from the lights, they benefit from all the things that most of us benefit from in this state. When the corporations are benefiting from those things, they should help pay for them.
More than they already do, you mean?
I don't know how much they already do.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about Jill Stein?
She's really our only Democratic true choice. I'm so upset that Hillary Clinton has supported fracking, which is so awful. I'm so upset with Hillary Clinton on a number of things. We can't let Trump win. We cannot let Trump win. So in any kind of state where there's an issue where Trump might win, I would definitely vote for Hillary. But in Washington, where Trump is never going to win, we need to vote for Stein. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.